Alright. If any of you guys think that WWE Extreme Rules of 2018 was any good, uh, there's something seriously wrong with you. This was by far the worst WWE pay-per-view I have ever seen. This was complete and utter trash from the get-go. I mean, there was nothing on this show that was even remotely worth caring about. This was absolute shit. Now, granted, did I enjoy watching AJ Styles and Rusev for the WWE Championship? Yes, I did. That was a very decent match. But the rest of the show was absolute garbage. There was not one thing that interested me at all. There was not a damn thing on this card. Daniel Bryan is positioned in a horrible storyline that is complete and utter bullshit and was worth nothing. Roman Reigns lost tonight. That was a positive, so I was kind of happy about that. And the Seth Rollins-Dolph Ziggler match was good, but the ending was absolute trash. There was nothing on this show worth watching. I could have skipped this entire pay-per-view and found millions of other things to do, watch, what have you. I don't know what to say about WWE anymore, but they are a pointless program. The only thing they got is money and a fucking humongous talent pool. But with that talent pool, they're doing nothing with it. If you gave that talent pool to another wrestling promotion, they would chomp at the bit to have something like what they have. WWE does not utilize their talent at their full potential. They do not provide these guys with the proper setup to give the audience what they want, what they deserve, what they pay their money for. I mean, I have been trying, and I've had an interest in getting some tickets to go see a WWE pay-per-view. Get tickets out to see the event and actually pay for a ticket to go see the event itself. And for the decent seats, you're still paying almost $100 or more per ticket. That is insane. I remember back in the day in 2011, I was just getting ready to graduate from college. And my best friend, he went ahead and bought us tickets to go see WWE Extreme Rules. He didn't spend, but maybe, he told me like 30, 40 bucks, maybe 60 bucks a piece between the 3 tickets. All total, it came to 180 bucks or something of that kind of nature. I mean, and they were really good seats. I mean, to the fact that you could see, you were right next to, almost near the rampway. You could see when they shoot off the fireworks, pyro and all that. So, I mean, there was a lot of things you can actually see. You could see the ring, the in-ring action. All of it was very, very good view. And he told me he got decent prices for them. These events now, they're like fucking insane prices. For even B-level pay-per-views. I even looked up the freaking pricing on this one. For the hell of it. Prices on tickets for just the same kind of seats that I got with my friend were $120 or something like that per ticket. What the fuck? I don't understand this company. It was neat to see the Intercontinental title on as the main event. I'll give WWE credit. They went somewhere different. They tried something different here, but they fucked it all up anyway, and they did it on purpose. I know what WWE is doing. They think their audience sucks. They don't like the fact that they're not getting... Vince McMahon don't like what he's not getting what he wants. He wants the WWE crowd to appreciate and love Roman Reigns. Well, Vince, if they can't love Roman Reigns and appreciate him for the way he is, make him what they are chanting him as being. Make him be your poster boy of how you feel towards the crowd, and he will play out perfectly to the audience. And on top of it, they will eventually appreciate him for what he is. He's being positioned as the poster boy of the company. He's the company guy. Then make him the company guy and play out the reality that is behind the scenes instead of this insane, nauseating, forced in babbling bullshit that we have today. You want Roman Reigns to get over Vince? Make him a heel. Make him the company man, not the fan favorite guy, the guy that plays to the crowd. He don't do well with that right now. The people don't appreciate him or believe in him as their guy to be the main face of the WWE. The guy that would work out great would be Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's the perfect fit for this role. He is everything what the fans can invest in. They can relate to his character. He's an underdog in life, and that's what most people are. They're underdogs. They're not people that excel extremely well and very easily. They have to work very hard to get where they are. So, with that all being said, Vince McMahon is taking this whole thing, making it about him. It's all about Roman. Thankfully, he did something different at this pay-per-view. I am very thankful of that. But at the end of the day, this show absolutely still sucked. There was nothing on this card that even got me excited. And that's pretty sad because I believe last month there were some things on Money in the Bank that entertained me better than this fucking pay-per-view. Fucking Backlash actually was better than this pay-per-view, and that's pretty sad in itself because Roman Reigns was in the main event with Samoa Joe that had no rhyme or reason, and it meant nothing to anybody to even bother watching. So, with that even being said, it's kind of sad in itself for me to even be saying I felt better watching Backlash than I did of Extreme Rules. But hey, that's just my opinion. Other people might feel differently and feel that this pay-per-view was passable, if that. I hope not, because this show absolutely sucked. But let me get into the results. I'll also give you some of my opinions on the wins and losses that happened in this event. And then I'm going to call it a night because I got to go to bed and get to work tomorrow. Andre Cien defeated Sin Cara. I did not watch that, but thankfully he won that match. Sanity did beat New Day in a tables match. That was pretty okay. I watched that a little bit towards the end, so I mean, it was pretty decent. Now we have the Raw Tag Team titles on the line with Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy against the B team of Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. This match was basically the omen of what was going to happen throughout the rest of this show. I could not believe that Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, two fucking jokers who are basically not even taken seriously in WWE storylines, were given the Raw Tag Team titles. Why? I have no idea. The only thing it tells me is they consider the Raw Tag Team division to be an absolute joke. Because, quite frankly, at this point right now, the way they are being run, they are a joke. To give those tag titles to those two fuckers, it baffles me. I really can't understand why Vince McMahon would think that that was a good idea outside of making a mockery out of the Raw Tag Team titles. But my God, they could have given the tag team titles to any other team but them, and they gave it to them. Fucking joke out of beyond belief. I really was. I found that very absurd for those two guys to even hold tag team championship gold. Absolute garbage. Completely crappy match. Nothing happened during this match that even remotely interests me. As I've said a gazillion times in this whole review so far in the last 10 minutes. I was very disappointing. Matt Hardy accidentally knocked Bray Wyatt. This is probably going to lead to Bray Wyatt leaving Matt Hardy in their tag team run. Not that their tag team run was at all a big deal anyway. It was kind of a big disappointment. Nothing was pushed very well, and it was just one big giant disappointment in my opinion that on paper probably would have been very decent if it was done correctly. But, of course, WWE always falls short on everything that they can do to turn something into that's good into something great, and they just fall flat on their face. Finn Balor defeated Baron Corbin in a singles match. I got another question. What blows me away is this is a fucking Extreme Rules pay-per-view. There's hardly any extreme stuff going on in this event. They need to get rid of the term extreme. Big time. They put the Extreme Rules, they should change it from Extreme Rules to extremely boring. Because that's all this fucking shit, this Extreme Rules shit is now. Last year was pretty bad, but not as bad as this, and this is 10 times worse. Unbelievably disappointing show. I don't know what else more I have to stress outside of this show was absolute shit. If you didn't see this, you're not missing a gosh darn thing. This was like watching a Monday Night Raw episode, only with championship belts on the line, and it had a different set with a logo on it that says Extreme Rules. That's the only difference I could tell between Raw and Extreme Rules tonight. Outside of that, without a large match card and a bunch of fucking championship matches, this was just another Raw episode to me. Absolutely unbelievable how low and flat this show was is beyond belief. Really. Carmella defeated Asuka again for the Women's SmackDown Championship. How surprising is that, huh? Not surprising to me. I wasn't shocked by it. And once again, James Ellsworth, he was placed in a shark cage. Seen that plenty of times. Never fucking works. Kind of like a steel cage match when you're trying to keep other people out of the ring. They always seem to find their way into it, regardless of the fact that it's a fucking steel cage, defeating the purpose of why the fucking thing is that structure's there in the first place. They could have just simply went ahead and did this, made a ruling on banning James Ellsworth from ringside, or Carmella loses her title and is stripped of the belt and given to Asuka. They could have simply done that, but no, of course they wouldn't do that. They want to keep the belt on the fucking blonde broad, because the fact is the officials of WWE like blonde women. If you don't believe me, look at Alexa Bliss. Look at the fact that Sasha Banks and Bayley have not gotten any real title runs at all. Sasha Banks has won it a bunch of times, but never has retained it in any of her title defenses. She's always had one title defense and then loses it on her first title defense after winning it the first time, making her a transitional champion every fucking time. Pretty sad in itself. I mean, there ain't nothing to be said here. And Asuka, I don't know, maybe Vince McMahon has a thing against Asian people. I have no idea, but he keeps on proving over and over again how much of a freaking racist he is. Because I have never seen a guy not allow minorities win championships as much as he does. The only minority that he even gives an opportunity to is Spanish people. They're the only minorities he's actually fair to when it comes to opportunities of world titles and championship belts. And I was not shocked that Asuka couldn't win the big one, because the women's championship is the only title that a woman can win in the WWE, so that's basically their world heavyweight title. And of course, she didn't accomplish that. Once again, she was distracted by James Ellsworth hanging from the shark tank, and he looked like a gosh darn pinata being ready to be lit up with a bunch of kicks, punches to the gut, and then eventually she was just standing there like a putz watching this unfold, and then was shoved directly into the shark cage, her head hitting the metal part of the shark cage, and she's knocked out unconscious for Carmella to pick up the 1, 2, 3. Pretty fucking pathetic in itself. This match, by the way, giving you my stars on this, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel defeating Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt for the Raw tag titles was a 2 out of 5 stars. Finn Balor and Baron Corbin, 2.5 out of 5 stars. Carmella and Asuka is a 1 out of 5 stars. Then we had Shinsuke Nakamura and Jeff Hardy in a U.S. Championship match that only went 6 seconds. But before the match even started, it was with a low blow. And to top it all off, there was no extremeness to this. There was no hardcore rules. Nothing. Jeff Hardy didn't do a fucking thing. He gets low blowed, stripped of the belt, and loses his U.S. Championship just like that. Why, I have no idea. There's no backstory. I didn't read any backstage news or information that states that he actually did anything wrong before this. To me, it seems more like a punishment than anything else in the world. Now, if there was something that he did before this event happened, maybe a week or two before, or a month before, and they wanted to do that, then I understand. If that's something that's going on that I don't know about, that I haven't read about on backstage news and rumors, then I guess I could understand them doing that. But for the fact of him just lose the title like that is beyond me. That was horrendous. Probably the worst thing I ever seen Jeff Hardy go through. I mean, I used to not be a big fan of him, but I've gained a lot of respect for the guy, and I've actually become a fan of his. And he really has done a lot for that company. And they gave him that title, and that's what they do to end his title reign. 6 seconds? 6 seconds. With a low blow and a finish from Shinsuke Nakamura, who couldn't defeat AJ Styles to save his life, but yet he can defeat Jeff Hardy in 6 seconds. Yeah, then why isn't the fucking title, the WWE title, around Shinsuke Nakamura's waist? Real simple, because Vince McMahon's a fucking racist pig, probably. And if not, then I'm sorry for my comment. But truthfully, I don't understand or see the logic here why Shinsuke Nakamura never could win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania to AJ Styles. It would have been a perfect moment for him, for the Asian culture, number one. And number two, it would have been definitely something totally different that never happened before. Seeing an Asian man hold on to a WWE Championship, where Shinsuke Nakamura also has held on to other prestigious titles in other wrestling promotions, like the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, which, by the way, he actually defeated their Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, in a one-on-one matchup, unifying a IWGP Heavyweight title that was held by Brock Lesnar at one point, but was disregarded as the heavyweight title that Kurt Angle won, and was given to Shinsuke Nakamura for a real IWGP Heavyweight Championship run. And they decided at that point to unify those two titles to finally take it out of an American's hands, and he walks away victorious, beating Kurt Angle. But I shouldn't say Nakamura doesn't deserve any accolades on his record with WWE. He deserves to beat somebody in 6 seconds when before he was in a title hunt for the WWE title and couldn't win it to save his life. So you try figuring it out, because I can't. That match is a dud. Hands down, just on the fact that it never even had a finish. It ended in 6 seconds. Kevin Owens defeated Braun Strowman in a steel cage match by escaping the cage. Braun Strowman's hands were handcuffed to... Well, one of his hands were handcuffed to the ropes while Kevin Owens escaped from the match. But throughout the entire rest of the match, Kevin Owens was getting his ass kicked. Go figure that one out. Not much to be said there. 1 out of 5 stars. 1 out of 5 stars. Piece of shit match. Already talked about the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Bludgeon Brothers defeated Team Hell No with Daniel Bryan and Kane. Before this match even started, a couple of segments back, like after the first match, we get to see Daniel Bryan and Kane getting attacked backstage, and Bludgeon Brothers decided to attack Kane's foot and basically bust it. Okay, fantastic. So Daniel Bryan spent most of this match by himself, doing nothing at all and losing. Not that I'm too upset about that. I don't really want Daniel Bryan holding on to the SmackDown Tag Team titles. I'd rather him be in a main event type matchup for a world title, not for a fucking tag team championships. We want him to progress forward, not backwards, and digress. That's not what we want him to do. We want him to progress and move forward and get back into the spot he used to be in before he had these head injuries and all these health issues that he was developing. Match itself, I mean, I give it a 3 out of 5 stars just to be generous, but quite frankly, I did not really give a flying fuck. So, yeah, Bludgeon Brothers won that match. Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns. This match I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I know that sounds pretty fucking crazy, but I'll give it that because of the fact that Bobby Lashley won this match. Now, was this match bad? No, it was not bad, but it wasn't great either. It was okay at best. But just to see something different for a change is very nice. This does not give a reason and gives us hope that we will not see Roman Reigns facing Brock Lesnar for the WWE WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam. Thank God. If they do, then my God, the logic barrier in WWE has been totally dismantled, and we've just stepped into the fucking Twilight Zone, for God's sakes. There is no reason why Roman Reigns should be getting a number 1 contenders match at SummerSlam, be the number 1 contender at SummerSlam for the Universal title. No reason whatsoever. I don't care if they decide to give Roman Reigns, I don't care if they have a number 1 contenders match on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night to determine the number 1 contender for the Universal Championship. There is no reason, by God, there should be no reason at all that Roman Reigns should be in that Universal Championship number 1 contenders match for Monday Night Raw if that's what they decide to do. Truth of the matter is, it should be Bobby Lashley versus somebody else. That somebody else, I have no idea and could give a flying fuck less. I do not care. Give it to freaking Dolph Ziggler for all I care. Give it to Drew McIntyre. Give it to one of those two and put them in a match with Bobby Lashley. That would be fine with me. I would not give a 2 fucks who's facing Bobby Lashley, but be quite frank with you, at this point in time, the way this has all been positioned, it should be Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. And no, people, I'm not super excited for that. But he is the only legitimate guy who, if you're going to take the title off Brock Lesnar, would be the correct person to give the title to. Not because of his personality, his charisma, or anything else. His background skills in MMA and his also physical ability, physical build of him, being muscular and all, and being also a guy that's experienced in real combat sports, is a better person to choose from and will be there on a consistent basis week to week, who will be a fighting champion and would be a lot better as a consistent guy who defends his title month to month. You don't even have to have him champion for a long time. Have him win the title and then lose the title the next month. I don't give a shit. But Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns should not happen. It doesn't deserve to have it. If you decided at that point in time to make Bobby Lashley beat Roman Reigns is out of the title picture hunt. He has won and lost back and forth for the last 6 months. And on top of it, you have yet to give him the fucking title. He should have been champion at WrestleMania, whether the fans liked it or not. He could have won at the fucking steel cage match at the event that happened in the Greatest Royal Rumble event. They could have done that. They didn't want to go that route either. They just wanted to keep stringing this along. They didn't have to. All they had to do was give the fucking title, get it over with, and get it done with. Nobody needed to watch this shit anymore. And for it to happen a third time in a row this year does not need to happen. We saw it at WrestleMania 31. It was fun and enjoyable then. It's not fun anymore. It's a joke. And it's because Roman Reigns sucks. Brock Lesnar don't care about what he does. He don't care about the wrestling industry. He just cares about making money. Just like what WWE Machine is all about doing as well. They need somebody who is there because they wanted to be there. Bobby Lashley apparently wanted to be there because if he didn't, he could have stayed in TNA and just stuck with them. They have a lighter schedule and everything else in between. So, with that being said, I don't see any reason not to reward him the title at this point. He may not be the best with charisma. He may not be the best suit as a champion. Seth Rollins would be the better opponent for that situation. But the problem is, Seth Rollins has been on a losing streak as well. So logically, you can't put him in a WWE Universal Championship #1 contenders match with Bobby Lashley. It would not work out. It's either got to be Dolph Ziggler or Drew McIntyre. Those are the only two guys I can think of off the top of my head that can even state they have a remote reason to even be in talks with the #1 contendership. Because outside of Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, and maybe even Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins has been on a losing streak, have no reason to even be in the #1 contenders match talk. So that's just my opinion. But this match was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't that great either. So it all ends out in the wash. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's title. Nothing surprising here. Once again, Alexa Bliss placed at the top of the food chain. You know, she had Ronda Rousey help injecting herself into this match, even though she's suspended for 30 days. She had enough of seeing Natalya get her ass kicked by Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, which was understandable. But then she went further into attacking Alexa Bliss. And with all that being said, Nia Jax still ends up losing the match to Alexa Bliss, who's a fucking midget and did not really do a whole lot of anything throughout most of it except for the end. No, she don't deserve to be the women's champion. She absolutely sucks. I'm openly admitting this at this point. She's very good on the microphone, but when it comes to in-ring work, she is one of the fucking... she just doesn't do a whole lot of anything in that ring. I don't know if that's planned out by WWE officials to allow her to do that, or she... bottom line is, they like her so much, they don't care, so they'll let her do whatever she wants. And say, hey, if you don't want to do a lot of work in the match, don't have to. You'll still win. Whatever. Match sucked, though. It was a 2 out of 5 stars. AJ Styles, Rusev, 3.5 out of 5 stars. AJ Styles retained. Rusev didn't do... he did his part in this match. I think he was okay for his position in this matchup. Getting his first ever WWE title opportunity. I think he did as good as he's going to do. And I think he excelled. I don't think he's ready yet for the main event spot yet, but he's getting there. This gimmick, I think, is the key for him to keep going with, because it continues to build him up momentum-wise with the fans. So I think this is the best route for them to go with, and I think once he gets a little bit more... I think if they give him a Royal Rumble win and give him a string of wins on his record and put him and pair him with better people to go up against, leading up to a world title match and getting him possibly a Royal Rumble win, I think that's when he'll be ready for the World Championship around his waist. But do I feel that he should be champion at some point? Oh yeah, most definitely. I think he's doing an outstanding job with the gimmick he's got, and I think he's doing an outstanding job with what they're giving him. So I'm very pleased with Rusev under his circumstances that he has to deal with, and I look forward to seeing him maybe in another WWE title match at some point down the line. So I wasn't too disappointed with his matchup. They at least got 15 minutes of work time together. Freaking Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns got the same. They got 15 minutes almost. So that's pretty much my deal on that. But yeah, AJ Styles retained his WWE Championship. And on to the last thing, Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins in a 30-minute Iron Man match. This match was... I don't know how to really say this. This match was a 3 out of 5 stars. A reason being for this is because I didn't feel anything going on. The crowd was very distracting on top of it with the countdown with each time they were getting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 4, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all that bullshit. It just was very distracting, kind of annoying by the Pittsburgh crowd. I didn't really appreciate that very much. If WWE wants to go about saying that they were a very distractive and very disrespectful crowd on that, I would agree with that. I don't think that what they did was very respectful to them. There is no reason why either one of these men should be booed for their in-ring work. They are very good at what they do. And for this crowd to even do any of that during this entire matchup, like every minute or every 10 seconds they were doing this. This was downright annoying and aggravating as a viewer. So I definitely am disappointed in the Pittsburgh crowd on how they acted during this matchup. This match was a good match. I'm not discrediting it, but the ending of this match was absolute shit. That's all there is to it. That's why this match gets a 3 out of 5 stars. If this match would have ended in a very clean fashion, even if Dolph Ziggler would have retained by winning in sudden death, I wouldn't have no problem with it. I would have ranked it as a 4 out of 5 stars. But because of the fact that they had to have a shitty ending to this with Drew McIntyre somehow out of nowhere decides at the end of the match to show his fucking face, which he was told to leave and not show it for the rest of this match until it's over, which it wasn't apparently because the match was restarted. He had some sort of right to still be there after the match ended, well, after the match was restarted. So Seth Rollins was distracted at the end. It was tied 4-4. Dolph Ziggler hit the zigzag, and he got the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory. That's the ending of their pay-per-view. A good match that was turned into shit at the end because Vince McMahon, I don't know. I don't know what is going on within WWE. How they're making the kind of money they're making, it blows my mind. Really, to be honest with you, I don't understand how that company can make all the kind of money they are making with the quality shows that they're putting on with less ratings, and on top of it, they have a ring talent pool that is quite unbelievable, and they underutilize them and make them underperform during big time events, regardless of what it is. That is pretty fucking pathetic. And I can tell that these men are underutilizing their skill sets and their move sets just so, whatever the case may be, is what Vince McMahon's telling them to do. That's all there is to it. Because I have seen these guys perform at a very high caliber style, and I'll tell you the truth, they are fucking outrageously sad. One thing I am glad of is the fact that we are going to see Ring of Honor and New Japan Wrestling team together at a G1 special event super show at Madison Square Garden. That is a humongous announcement that I never thought would happen. And for this to actually happen is huge. I hope they sell that entire fucking arena out. They actually can fit probably, I think, 20,000 people. I hope they get 20,000 people into that freaking arena to watch that entire event. Because I'll tell you the truth, I would pay money to go see that at Madison Square Garden. That is a huge fucking venue, and quite frankly, one of the biggest upsets I've ever seen happen for a promotion to outdo WWE, in the fact that Madison Square Garden would be willing to give them their venue to allow them to do their show. That is unbelievable in itself. But no, WWE's not taking the all-in special event that's happening with Cody Rhodes and Young Bucks, putting that show together. They're not taking that as a serious competition. Their go-home show with their ratings were trampled on. I mean, they came... I looked this up, actually, earlier today. They went ahead and... they went ahead and had a Bachelorette reality TV show outdo them with 5 million viewers. Theirs was under 3 million viewers. They were at like 2.72 million viewers. This one was at 5.4 million viewers. I don't understand how Fox and the NBC networks both are paying these two fucking brands the kind of money they're paying. They're paying a lot of money for trash. I guess apparently they like to annoy their audience just as much as Vince McMahon likes to annoy their audience. So what the fuck? What the hell? The hell out of here, man. I'll stick with New Japan Wrestling, fucking ROH, and hell, I'll even do Impact Wrestling at this point. At least with Impact Wrestling, yes, they are dull as fuck. But they at least do one thing that is worth watching. They don't insult your intelligence so much, especially in the main event scene. They actually do something that's unique. They care about professional wrestling to the point where they pick and choose the proper people that have actually won and lost. They look at that. They actually focus on the logical reasoning behind wins and losses and put those proper people into that matchup. Now, going back to the Universal Championship match, getting to logic here. Bobby Lashley has not lost a match. At least I don't think he did. If he did on Raw, that's about the only way I would know. But on pay-per-views, he has not lost a single match. He's been dominating, and he has kicked ass. Whether his gimmick sucks, whether he's boring as hell and has no charisma whatsoever, and yes, he has become worse in WWE since he's been shifted over there in comparison to what he was on Impact Wrestling. But regardless of all that, logic-wise, they set him up to look like he's the guy that should be the number one contender. You watch, he won't be. They will make Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley go one-on-one for a number one contenders match. Why? I guarantee you that's what we're going to see on Monday Night Raw when we get Brock Lesnar come out to the arena. Kurt Angle's going to say we're going to have Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns one-on-one to determine the number one contender. Why would they need to do that when Bobby Lashley already defeated Roman Reigns? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck WWE and their illogical booking, and they can stick this show up their fucking ass. And I'm going to do these reviews whether I like their pay-per-views or not, because it is fun just trashing the living shit out of this company, because they are absolute garbage. But yeah, Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins, just to get back on that, it was a good match, but like I said, the ending was absolute shit. It didn't end the right way. Dolph Ziggler should have won cleanly without Drew McIntyre's interference. He already had done that in the beginning of the match. He got Dolph Ziggler disqualified, putting the match 3-0 for Seth Rollins. And then with that distraction and beat-up session that he did to Seth Rollins by Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler was able to climb back into the match, tying it at 3-3, then taking the lead at 4-3. And then it became a tie with 4-4 with a few minutes left, and then it ended up being a draw with them restarting the match and Drew McIntyre coming back in to screw over Seth Rollins one last time to help Dolph Ziggler get a quick win. Absolute joke. I give the match, though, a 3 out of 5 stars. It would be a 4, as I already mentioned earlier, but because of the interference at the end, I give it a 3 out of 5. Anyway, guys, leave your comments and opinions down below. I'll get back to you on that whenever I can. And hit the like video, or the like button if you like the video. Let me repeat that back one more time. Hit the like button if you like the video. And also hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.